Whether you like Trump or whether you don't, this event most likely caused him to win the presidential election. What's up? It's Johanna with God is Glamorous, where we learn how to live our best lives through Jesus Christ. And today we have a really touchy subject today because we're talking all about the Trump assassination fiasco event that took place a few days ago. And I want to give you my thoughts from a biblical perspective. And the reason why I'm a bit late compared to other commenters or influencers is because I didn't want to get anything wrong. I really wanted to sit with the Lord in prayer and ask him what he thought about all of this. So I believe that he has finally spoken to me about what he wants me to say, and I'm going to share my thoughts. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so first things first. This event that took place with the Trump assassination attempt, people have opposing views. Some people say that it was all staged. Other people are like, no, this is definitely serious. This really happened. And whether or not you think it is staged or unstaged, let's get to the core root of the issue, which is the fact that this thing is spiritual. The Bible says that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. And whether this was a real assassination attempt or whether this was staged, at the core root of it, it's all demonic and it has Satan's hands all over it. And we need to stop looking at it with worldly eyes and ask God to help us see it with spiritual eyes. The Bible says that we need to be as wise as serpents, and we need to understand and realize how the enemy thinks. And this was simply a ploy to cause further division and to send the country into a frenzy of confusion. So at the root, if it's a spiritual war that we're fighting, we need to combat it with spiritual weapons, which is prayer and fasting. Pray against the spirit of confusion, pray against the spirit of division, and come together truly as the United States of America, as one body, because as the Bible says, a house divided cannot stand. So whether you're for Trump or against Trump, I don't care what your opposing views are. Make sure that you keep the country in your prayer, political leaders in your prayer, presidential candidates in your prayers. Continue to stay prayed up because this is a spiritual battle, and as we approach the last days, it's definitely going to get worse. Number 2, stop looking for an earthly king. Stop looking for an earthly king to save you. Over these past few days, I've seen nothing but Donald Trump on my timeline. And I get it, this event just happened, but we need to stop looking for an earthly king to save us and to solve all our problems. Because if we can be honest, before there were presidents and kings and prime ministers, there was just one king that we looked up to, and his name was Jesus Christ. In the book of 1 Samuel in the Bible, the Israelites wanted a king so desperately because they wanted to be like all the other nations. But God was like, I'm your king. I want to be your king. And they were like, no, we want another king. And the reason why we're even in this fiasco right now, and the reason why we're arguing about who should be president and vice president, all this, is because we have forgotten that there's only one king. And before presidents or kings came about, there was just one king on the throne that we needed to look up to, and his name was Jesus, God himself. So we have to understand that although the world may want a president that can save us, we already have one. We already have a King of Kings and a Lord of Lords. We don't look to presidents who can serve terms because we have one King of Kings who is serving an eternal term, and his name is Jesus. So let's keep that in mind. There is no earthly king on this world that can save us, that we need to look to put policies in place, because there's already one king that is spoken, and his name is Jesus, and his word is eternal, and we don't need presidents to put certain policies in place because we have prayer, and we have a all-powerful, mighty God who tells us that there is no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So although there are earthly kings and earthly presidents, and we're looking to see who is the best ruler, the true King of Kings and the Lord of Lords is Jesus Christ. And he doesn't serve terms, he serves an eternal term, and he sits at the right hand of the Father, and that is a true king that we need to look up to. And lastly, number 3, If we can be honest, whether you like Trump or whether you don't, this event most likely caused him to win the presidential election. So if God is raising up Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States, we need to submit to that, whether we like it or not. I've never been a Trump fan, but if this is who the Lord is raising up to lead our country, I'm going to submit to that, because as the Bible says, just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are God's ways higher than our ways, and so are his thoughts higher than our thoughts. If God can use imperfect people in the Bible, if God can use an imperfect person like me, if God can use an imperfect person like you, he can certainly use Donald Trump for his glory as well. So let's continue to keep Donald Trump in our prayers, our political leaders in our prayers, and more importantly, turn to the one true God, the one true King, because he's the only one that can save and fix any problem here in America, and he's the only one that can make America great again. All right, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think this was staged, not staged? I'm really curious to hear your views. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. And if you're a Christian woman and you really want to join a Christian community to pray with other women and to grow with other like-minded women, be sure to click the link below to join my Glam Fam community. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Stay glamorous.